Hey guys, I'm doing a King Cryptid fan art for Peter Smitty's Indiegogo. I bought an ad space a while ago from him. I thought it'd be fun to have my work in a comic, so that's cool. I forget how many ad spaces there were. I think I got the one in issue 4. I want to say it's on the very back cover. It might be a full page ad in the comic as a page. I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, I got an email from him saying that, the cutoff date was pretty soon. So, of course, I waited till the last minute, the very last day. I scheduled the time to get this done, and it took me all day. It took me like 15 hours to do this. I don't do very many colored things. I have colored pictures before, but it's really basic. It's like coloring book style. Like I'll do a solid color, then I'll lighten it up, and then I'll add the shadows, highlights and shadows. It's like super basic. I think it's good enough to be passable for some comic pages. For what I like anyway. But like I want to get into more color theory and painter-esque, more realism style. All things I'm uncomfortable with. But I was watching a lot of David Finch's. He does some live streams where he does like painting studies, and I was checking out. I really like the one with Dan DeSantos. He was doing the Values First, the one I was watching, where he was doing the Vampirella cover, and he was so quick. It's freaking awesome. But I'm obviously not on that level. I was just kind of thinking of this as shading with a pencil, and I tend to get hyper focused on like small areas, like such as the fingers and stuff. And before I know it, sometimes when I pull back and look at the whole thing, like a mouth will be crooked or the eyes will be crooked from each other. And that's how it is for the painting also, because as you can see, this is like pretty one color, like it's all just, or one value, it's like just a solid gray mass. I noticed that, I don't know, probably like 7 hours in. So I'm like, okay, I gotta make the darker parts darker, the shadows darker, make the highlights a little bit more highlighted. I was happy with my progress, but of course when I compare to other people, it's like I got a long ways to go. But anyway, it was pretty fun. It was a good learning experience. I'll probably do a few more of these. Well, a lot more of these, like in the mornings whenever on my days off, I'll, instead of like sketching, which is what I usually do to kind of warm up before I get to work, I'll probably change them off for some coloring to just kind of get used to the whole where you throw down a solid color and try to make something from it, from the guys I like watching anyway, like that Stephen Sajic. I'm not 100% that that's how you say his name. He's really fun to watch color, and Sinix Design, Sinix Design. He's really cool to watch. If check out his videos, he goes so quick, and yeah, you could tell these guys are just like on another level of painting. So anyway, yeah, I would like to jump in that sector and be much more confident in my colors. So yeah, I'll be trying to dabble more into that. But yeah, and then this one I was also pretty timid. I was kind of like procrastinating, wasting some time doing things that I think are needless looking back on it, like these little tiny things. You could see I'm kind of like smudging, using the smudge tool to blend things and make them all look smooth, and then I end up adding more darker value to it anyway and covering it all up. So I do a lot of that throughout this painting, just because, like I said, that was very timid to jump into the coloring part, so I was kind of like procrastinating, wasting my time. And the drawing took me about 15 hours, I want to say, and I believe I could have shortened it up by at least a couple hours if I wouldn't have been trying to use the smudge tool so much, because like I said, I went over with darker values anyway and just covered it all up. Oh, here I'm noticing I want to make it more dynamic by adding it's more action by adding the hairs flying around. And and then a little nuance there with the little tiny hairs on his arms. So just make the drawing more fun to look at. And the tendons and the forearms. I love drawing big forearms on characters. Maybe not to the Popeye level, but yeah, maybe to the Popeye level. I like big forearms especially if they're guys, like just big muscular forearms. It's probably one of my favorite parts of drawing anatomy. Let's see, where am I doing? Oh, I'm cleaning up the beard area. I really like drawing hair. I'm not very fast at it. I think of it as more like relaxing. Like I'll just go off with the hairs. I'm not even thinking anymore. I'm just kind of throwing hairs, wavy here, wavy there, and then I pull back and I kind of look at the whole thing and see if it goes well. I was flipping the drawing back and forth, or painting back and forth, flipping horizontally the canvas, but it doesn't show up on here. I did this in Procreate. Okay, now I'm doing the bird. The bird I was kind of saving that one till last because I wasn't sure what kind of bird I want to throw in there. I ended up going with looking like a hummingbird. But to me, it looks a little more generic because obviously this is much bigger than a hummingbird. Hummingbird would be a lot smaller than that. I didn't want the bird to get disappeared in the drawing, though. I kind of wanted that one to be one of the main focuses. And also, I wanted King Cryptid to look happy, like him and the bird are just, I don't know, they're having fun. It's like one of those rare moments you get in the comic book world, anyway, most comics, where like you're just having fun and it's just a good time. I hope I sold that well. I'm not sure. In the reference I was looking at for King Cryptid, he has that dour look on his face. You know, he's always serious. Looks like he means business. So, hopefully he has sometimes where he smiles. I'm not sure if that goes against what the character does or anything, or who the character is what I mean. All right, so, that reminds me. There's another thing that slowed me down was I was trying to keep the cape separate and like the hair separate from and obviously that bird separate, like on different layers from each other, so it would be easier to just switch to that layer and then just color and not have to worry about getting outside the lines or anything. But what I end up doing is I end up like forgetting which layer I was working on. I should have been just selecting the layer, so I would notice, or no, it wouldn't let me color on other areas if I just had that one layer selected. But I kept forgetting to do that, so then I would just go to the next part, like I'm working on the abs and the leg muscles there, and then I would go to I would jump to another layer, and then I'd realize like, I forgot to even change those layers. Sorry for there's some background noise. My roommates are home. I'm in the basement. All right, now I'm trying to figure out highlights, I think. Yeah, I'm trying to add some highlights. I was going with like a yellow sun, kind of like if the sun was out. I seen a few paintings, like Cynics. For highlights, he was doing like blue. to be from like the blue sky. I didn't want to add the blue highlight because I figured, I'm using the blue kind of as a like a shadow and stuff, and plus he's already bluish himself, so I didn't want to just over blue the whole have make a blue out of but anyway, so I went with yellow, and I was having a hard time, I remember, with this guy's wings, the bird there. Oh, there's more nuance. I'm trying to add like purple hair with the paintbrush. The paintbrush I was using was the round brush. I was just using whatever Procreate had, and nearly all of it was round brush. When I'm trying to add some effects to this bird's wings, I was using the flat brush a little bit, or trying to. I think ultimately I just kept it with the round brush. And there I copy and pasted some of his wing colors to add the effect of making it look like he's flapping his wings, that blur effect. But I was really struggling with that. None of it made me happy. I just kind of left it with like a slight blur around his wing, and I was like, okay, that's good enough. I was starting to run out of time here, and so this was more towards the end of the painting after I got the highlights in, and I think I make his eyes glow a little bit, or try to. Yeah, there we go. Now I jump to the background. I was using the spray paint. There's like 3 spray paint paintbrushes you could pick from. I wanted the spray paint. I don't know. I thought that looked cooler as a design anyway. So yeah, this is towards the end of it. Just doing minor detail things for the shadow. Okay, then here's the ad. I'm trying to add a little picture of myself, a little insert where I'm saying, hey guys, check out me on YouTube, and you could watch me draw this guy. You could get the comic to see how the ad turned out. The main thing was this picture here, so I would suggest going to Peter Simeti's King Cryptid on Indiegogo and back it and check it out. Looks like a fun comic. Also, go back Occult Descent on Kickstarter. I have a few tiers you could choose from. I got the comic book, obviously, and then the double comic book, comic with a remark, comic with character sketch on a 9x12 Bristol board, 11x17 original pencils left for the magnet that I made as an add-on if you pick that. And then hopefully that'd be cool if we could get some stretch goals, because I got a pack of stickers I'd like to add, give to everybody once we get past the $3,000 mark. I'll leave the link for Occult Descent on Kickstarter and King Cryptid on Indiegogo in the description below. If you made it this far, thanks for checking out the video.